Hello and welcome to the Knit Sip Happy podcast. My name is Nancy and I'm coming to you today from the east coast of Canada, just outside of Moncton, New Brunswick. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. Thanks for tuning in for all the random chat. What do I need to tell you? Today is Monday, February 20th. It is a holiday here. Today, Mondays are my regular day off, so it's just a regular Monday, except all of the stores are closed and I can't do my regular grocery shopping and errands. That's okay. I'm coming to hang out with you today instead. I'm going to put a little screenshot here everywhere you can find me on the internet. I am Knit Sip Happy. I am Knit Sip Happy everywhere. Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook, and there's also an email address that you can reach out to me if you need to. So, I'm just going to stand up and show you what I'm wearing first. It is not a knit item, but my weekend away, our weekend retreat gathering getaway in Sussex, New Brunswick last weekend happened, and my friend Leanne offered, she showed a couple of shirts that she was making with her Cricut, and I went, ooh, can I have some? I horned in. So I went to Michael's and picked up some t-shirts, and she did a Cricut thing for me. So I have this knit one on the green, and then I practice Stitchcraft on the turquoisey teal. So I haven't washed them yet. They're a bit wrinkly. They're almost, I was thinking I would just kind of wear them around the house, but they're almost too nice to wear around the house. I don't want to get cleaning stuff on them or dinner. All right, let me just bring you a little bit closer. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I think that's better. All right, so today we've got our usual FOs, whips. I've got a little bit of spinning. I've got a little bit of design chat. We're going to chat about the 4,000 subscriber giveaway and this beautiful necklace. We'll talk about that a little later on. I reached 4,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. If you hit that subscribe button, I really appreciate it. And as a thank you, I will be sending out this beautiful necklace to somebody. So we'll talk about how we're going to do that later. Last time I was here, I was showing you my Njord socks, DK socks, and they had just launched. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for everybody who bought the pattern, shared, liked, helped me spread the word. I raised $925 through the sale of the patterns, and then the regional hospital who houses the Heart Centre in our province had a matching campaign. So we fundamentally donated $1,850 to the New Brunswick Heart Centre, and I just wanted to say a big thank you for that. That was one of my most successful launches, and I'm thrilled with the results, and a big thank you for that. So that was Njord. We had our winter gathering Sussex getaway. I'll talk about that later. So if you just want to stick around for the knitting, you'll be able to turn me off at that point. What else? Oh, the knit along. We have a sock knit along. I have a sock knit along running right now. I'm running it on Instagram and Facebook. You can share your posts on either platform. If you are not on either platform, just send me an email with a picture of your sock. So you can knit any socks at all. You can double dip in any cows that you like that are going on, stashy, socky, whatever. If you knit with one of my patterns, then you will get a double entry into the giveaway. And I will talk about that a little bit more later on. The prizes are all at the bottom of my podcasting basket, which is buried in other things. So we will do that later on. Some of them are acquisitions. So, all right. I have an itchy nose. Why do I have an itchy nose? There could be some noises. I may have put a little bit of footage at the beginning. My husband has decided to start doing some painting inside the house today. He hurt his back a few weeks ago, and I was hoping that he wouldn't do this right away, but he's going to do it right away. So he's going to do it in small chunks, which means I'm going to have paint supplies and paper and drop cloths down probably for 2+ weeks. But he's going to do it. I don't have to do it. So I just have to keep my mouth shut. We picked the paint. That was always fun. You know, we've been married for 32 years this year, together 34, and you think that you're kind of simpatico, right? No, not when it comes to picking paint colors. Goodness, I haven't even picked up anything mohair yet, and I'm already itchy. Okay. FOs. Pretty thin on the ground. It's been a very busy 3 weeks, both at the day job and the knitting job. So what I have for you are 2 pairs of finished socks. These little vanilla ones that I was using leftovers with. So this is the main color is the Wacky Sacky that I did for my son's Christmas socks this year. And then I just pulled some Knit Pick Stroll out of my stash. The purple at the top and the blue. I don't remember the colors, but all the details will be linked. That's what I forgot to say. All of my Ravelry pages and people that I talk about will be linked below under the More button in the description box. I will have everything linked. If I've missed anything, just shoot me a quick message and I'll get you that information, and I'll make sure it's linked down below. So Ravelry project pages will have all the color details here. I did these toe up, and I had weighed the yarn. I had 13.5 grams for each sock in the main color. So these are a ladies, a 64 stitch size 6 ladies. I did a Fish Lips Kiss Heel with no modifications. This is a gift knit for my daughter's fiance's sister for Christmas. So these will also go into the Christmas bin. But yeah, toe up to make sure I didn't run out of yarn like I did on those silly West Yorkshire Spinner socks. Speaking of those silly West Yorkshire Spinner socks, I have not ripped them. I have not thrown them into a corner. They are waiting patiently for me to get some more fairy lights from a knitting friend at Knit City, Toronto. I was offered lots of yarn from lots of different parts of the world. I was really hoping to find it local. All of my local knitters only had the sparkle version, which would work, but I had a couple other offers for the regular fairy lights. And I will see both of those people actually at Knit City, Toronto. So we will make arrangements. I will make arrangements with one of them to grab 5 grams, 2 grams. I mean, it really is 2 stripes. So that's the West Yorkshire Spinner socks, the fairy lights update. Vanilla socks here, toe up. Lesson learned. Leftover sock should also always be done toe up. The other finished object is another pair of shorties. These were also leftover socks, but I had lots of the yarn. These are using Sweet Scanamine. I Smell Snow. No, Dashing Through the Snow is the main color. And it was a sock set. So this medium toned blue was in the sock set, and then the navy blue was just a commercial sock yarn out of my stash. I'm just going to put one down. So this is the Shooting Star pattern. It's a really fun, easy to remember, easy to read your knitting pattern. I've knit it before. It can be worked toe up or cuff down. I just did cuff down. These are for me, so I did modify the Fish Lips Kiss Heel. I'd mentioned this last time, but I'll say it again. This was a 64 stitch sock, so 32 stitches on the back needle magic loop for the Fish Lips Kiss Heel. On the first row of the navy, I increased 4 stitches to bring it up to 36 stitches on the back. So I ran a 36 stitch Fish Lips Kiss Heel, which gave me extra rows and extra depth. And then at the corner, when I joined back in the round, I picked up an extra stitch in that corner just to close up that hole. And then I did 3 gusset decreases. You can see here, there's a little gusset decrease line. So I'd increased 4 stitches on the heel, 2 more picking up on each corner, gave me 6 extra stitches to decrease. So I did a knit 1 plain round, then did the classic gusset decreases, knit 1, slip, slip, knit to the last 3 stitches, knit 2 together, knit 1, and then carry on in the round and do that every second row until I got back to my original 32 stitch count on the back of the sock. So that is it for finished objects. I have one sweater that's very close. We'll talk about that one next. As I said, with the weekend away last weekend and life and knit designs that I can't show you, there's a lot of secret squirrel stuff going on in the background for Knit City Toronto. And some I'll be able to show you next time. Some I can show you this time. Some I can't show you at all. So we'll talk about that a little more in design chat. But we're going to go to Zweig, which is poofing out this nice big project bag. Beautiful floral with the gray wax canvas. I just love this bag. And it's made by a local maker. Donna doesn't have a web store, but she is at local shows. So if you're coming to PEI Fiber Festival, I just read on the vendor list that she's going to have a table at the PEI Fiber Festival. I believe she also has one at Woolstock East in Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia. I think that's in August. So let's talk about Zweig. You've seen this before. The yarns are Moonshell from Circus Tonic Handmade, and then a silk mohair blend that was an experiment from Deborah at Yarn Indulgences in this kind of navy blue. She doesn't carry this base in her shop. It was something that it's been in my stash since 2020. So since I have seen you last, I've put the body on hold and picked up and did the sleeves. I think I was working on a sleeve last time I was here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't go back and have a look. Let me just, when I'm working the body in the round, I shove the sleeves down inside the body. It just makes it less twisty. So you've already seen this beautiful lace colorwork yoke. I have finished 2 sleeves. Hang on one second. I modified the sleeve cuff. So I followed the sleeve where you don't do any decreases. I've done a shorter rib, and instead of doing the big 2x2, I've just done my 1x1 ribbing that is my preference, with a nice long cuff that I can cuff it up if I like, or leave it long, depending if I want full length sleeves or more like bracelet length sleeves. So I've done that on both sleeves. I was alternating skeins. I couldn't do it helically because of the slip stitch X's. So you can kind of see there's a line up there that is where I just switched yarns every round. I kept it not tight, but not loose, and it's under my arm, and I don't think that's very noticeable at all. Again, I don't know if I really needed to alternate skeins, but sleeves, sometimes you can get some weird pooling. So this beautiful Moonshell yarn from Circus Tonic Handmade. I work on it mostly at night, and it just kind of looks beigey with some dark burgundy pops, but you get it into the daylight, and there's some of these acid greens and gold yellows and these blues and periwinkles and navies, and it's so, so pretty. So I am, hang on, attached to something. There we go. I am back on the body, and I need to measure my Zweig that I currently have to see how long it is before I start the ribbing. I'm almost ready to do that. I've got 2 skeins attached right now because I decided it didn't look like it was pooling on the body at all. So I decided to live on the edge and just knit with 1 skein, but I'm down to the last 5 or 6 rounds on the old skein, so I'm just fading it in almost. I'm just working both skeins for a few rows until I run out of the first one, and then I'll just be working on 1. I still have 1 full skein I haven't even touched. I'm not sure if I'm going to need any of it, but if I do, I do. I had 4 skeins of this to start with, and I can't wait to wear this. When we were at Sussex last weekend, we were supposed to have a group shot. There's a few of us who are knitting this together. I think there's 5 of us knitting this together. Some are done, some are not done, but we were going to have a group shot of our works in progress, and Manon La Violette Knits wearing hers. But we completely forgot. There was just too much talking. And that's going to be the theme when I get to the Sussex Winter Gathering. Yeah, I talked about doing a vlog, perhaps. I think I've got 2 minutes of footage, maybe, and very few pictures. All right, Zweig. Next time you see it, I would wager this will be done. The other garment knit I showed you last time was Wilfreda. And I'm not sure if I've worked on it at all. I'm going to pull it out of the bag and show you, and we'll talk about why I haven't done anything with it. Just get this, I won't bother zipping it, but get it back in the bag at least so I'm less tangly and messy. This is in my Michelle's Creation bag. Michelle is a New Brunswick maker, and I will see her again at Fiddlehead Fiber Festival, April 12th and 13th, if you are in the Maritimes or in New Brunswick at all. Fiddlehead Fiber Festival is going to be happening in Florenceville, Bristol, Friday, April 12th, Saturday, April 13th. It's going to be a hoot. If you're in the area, you should come. Back to Wilfreda. So, I'm using 2 Sweet Skein of Mine yarns. This is Yarnia. This is Raspberry Jam. I have 2 more full skein, or sorry, 1 more full skein of each. And I've stopped working on the body. I've separated for the sleeves, and I've done about, what, 3 inches? I should show you the sweater first, shouldn't I, before I start talking about why I've stopped knitting it. So, Wilfreda by Venka Rolled is at, if you loved Ranunculus, I think you'd love this one too. It's a similar gauge, and these 2 yarns together are just beautiful. So, I am losing stitches off the needles. Of course I am. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't dropping stitches off the needles. I was working on the body, and I started to think that I need to stop and do the sleeves, because I've only got 2 skeins of each, and that will give me a good length, but I need to do the sleeves first and then come back and do the body, and I need to be alternating skeins and all these shenanigans. So then I realized I'm doing this on a 5.5 millimeter needle. The pattern called for a 6 millimeter needle. That was just a bit too loose for my liking. I got gauge at the 5.5. So I decided I wanted to do the sleeves. I don't have a 5.5 millimeter small circumference circular, so a 12-inch preferably. And my mini set, my mini twist from Chowgu with the shorties only goes up to 5 millimeters. So I messaged the lovely Sherry from Acme Fibers, who's based out of Ontario, and asked her what my options were for a fixed circular. I've looked before and haven't been able to find a fixed circular over 5 millimeters. I don't understand why. I think the needle companies are missing a trick here. We want to do sleeves on these short circulars on 5, 6, 7 millimeter needles, on bigger gauge needles. And I know the Chowgu has a mini set, the yellow one with the bigger size needles. I so very rarely use those bigger needles that I didn't want to buy the mini set just for a 5.5 or a 6 millimeter needle. So I messaged Sherry, I emailed Sherry through her website on Acme Fibers and asked what my options were, because I told her what I was looking for. And she said, yeah, they don't do a fixed circular. Nobody does a fixed circular over 5 millimeters in the 12-inch size. But I could order the Chowgu tips and cable separately to make that shorty. It wasn't a very cheap option, I have to be honest, but I will get a lot of use out of it. So I ordered that early last week, so I would expect that to be in my mailbox tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I'm going to pick this up again and start working on the sleeves. So I hate to do it, but I'm going to get to under the armpit, and I'm going to cut these yarns. It'll be 2 more ends I got to weave in, but it needs to, this is what I need to do. I'm going to adjust the sleeves. They are a full width sleeve with a balloon at the end. I'm actually going to taper the sleeves. I'm going to do decreases working down, again, to use a little bit less yarns. Maybe I have a little bit of a longer body. I'm looking for this not to be too cropped is my goal. But once I get the tapered sleeves done, then I'll see how much I've got left for the body, and I will just knit until I run out, basically. So this is using the beautiful alternating cable cast on for the neck. I talked about this last time and my issues with it. It will match nicely with the sewn Italian bind off that I like to do. So yes, no progress or very little progress on Wilfreda, but I have plans and it will come back to being. And I just caught myself looking at myself in the camera, or in the screen, so it must be time for a little sip. Or a big sip. I forgot to tell you what I'm drinking as well. This is one of our favorite house style wines. Glare. It's a Trinity Red, it's called. It's Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot blended. Lovely. So you're getting the best of all the worlds in that. You're getting the body from the Cab, a little fruity from the Merlot, and the structure on the Cab Franc. If you're interested. Let's do some socks. So Saturday was the start of the sock knit along. We're doing a hashtag, I'll put it on the screen, KSH, Knits It Happy, Cal 2024. The problem that a kind Instagram follower messaged me and said, do you realize that Instagram doesn't allow you to follow the hashtags like it used to? I was like, no. So when I look under the hashtag, I am seeing some of the posts, but I'm not seeing all of the posts. So we had a quick little pivot, and I've asked everybody to tag me as well. So in your post, if you're doing it on Instagram, tag me at Knits It Happy and use the hashtag KSHCal2024. If you're on Facebook, just post it onto my Facebook thread, page, feed. What's the terminology for Facebook again? If you're on Facebook, just post it there anywhere and tag me in it. And if you're doing it on email, just send me the email that was at the beginning of the screen and it's linked below. Those are the 3 ways to enter. If you're using one of my patterns, like I said, double entry. So Saturday was a busy work day for me, really busy. Friday was crazy. It's been a crazy week last week. And I didn't have any time to really think about what I was going to cast on or what yarn I was going to cast on. So Friday night, I got home from work about 7:30. We had dinner. So about 8:30, 8:45, after a glass of wine, I meandered into my craft room and had a look at my stash and thought, what would I like to knit a pair of socks with? I was thinking Blooming Lovely, because believe it or not, I've only knit that one once. I'll put a picture up here. I've only knit that one once, and it was to knit the samples. I've actually knit 3 of those socks. I knit a pair, and then I gave Kim and Colin from Ginger Snap Yarn a single sock. Or I gave them the pair and I have a single. I can't remember. I like to, if I'm doing a collaboration, I like to give the dyer one of the socks. And I really only need to keep one. I don't ever wear my sample socks. They're always kept pristine and pretty if I need to take pictures and do whatever, marketing. Whew, that was a tangent. So I picked Blooming Lovely. I did know the pattern. So I started looking for yarns and I had 2 options. And I did a poll on Instagram on Saturday. I had a quick minute between customers. I was ducking behind the sales counter, if you saw that video on Instagram. And I asked for your opinion on 2 different yarns. I had I had Weather from Ginger Snap. I'll put a clip of the video that shows both of the yarns. Slow down. Whew, I feel like I'm in a race. So that you will have seen that. So I had 2 options. And it was about 65 to 35, 60 to 40 for the Ginger Snap Weather over the Ducky Darlings Perth's Darling, which I'd gotten at Perth Yarn Festival last year. So I pulled out my favorite sock knitting bag from Studio Brita in Alberta, Canada. She will personalize these little sock bags for you and ask you what colors you would like on the back for your fabric. Beautiful bags. It's the perfect little sock size, and it went beautifully with the Ginger Snap Weather yarn. So this is the yarn in that bag. Match made in heaven. Very happy. So it's a bit of a sunny, cloudy day, so my lighting is varying as the sun is coming in and going out. So I cast on the Blooming Lovely socks in this yarn. Let me get my, this is one of my favorites, I think, and I've only knit it the once. So it has these fun little eyelet flowers running down the front panel. It has a little single panel running down the back, and then it has broken rib running from the back around to just the side of the front. You know how lace really stretches and gives? You wear a pair of lace socks and by the end of the day they're drooping because they don't have the stretch. So putting that broken rib in there just kind of gives it a little more sucky inniness. Highly technical term. So I've done 2.5 repeats. No, 1.5 repeat. Almost 2 repeats. Count, Nancy. This is 1 repeat here. So I'm just on the 2nd repeat here. And loving it. I cast this on pretty late on Saturday night by the time we got home from work. And yeah, the day just got away from me. So I did cast this one on the Saturday, the 17th, when the cal started. I thought I really have to. It's my own cal, my own knit along. I've got to cast something on. So these got cast on Saturday night, but I think I only got the ribbing done. And I started the fun blooms on Sunday morning. But then I was looking at Perth's Darling and thinking, boy, that's really pretty. I want to knit with that one too. And then I was having second thoughts. The Blooming Lovely maybe that yarn was too busy for the Blooming Lovely pattern. I probably should have done the lighter pink one. So Perth's Darling is this pretty Ducky Darlings. They're both 75-25 bases. So as you can see, I have wound it up and cast it on. And I'm holding the yarn double to make, can you guess? Can you guess? Can you guess? Njord socks. So this is DK. So I'm holding the fingering weight double. To get me the correct gauge. And I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it. So this I cast on yesterday, Sunday morning. I'm using my button trick. If you want to work from the inside, it's not my button trick. Let me rephrase that. It's the button trick I found on the internet many years ago from Chelsea at Legacy Fiber Arts, who'd gotten it from Chili Knits. I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. But I have done a little tutorial on my YouTube channel. If you go into the playlist tutorial, I will also link it below on how you use this button to keep to keep the twist. Let me just try to show you here. So I'm pulling from the inside and the outside of the cake, and the button just controls the twist and stops the twist from getting into your working yarn. It keeps things from getting tangled, and it's the best way I found. That way, when I'm finished this pair of socks, if I have leftovers, I just have one little ball, not 2 little micro balls that are only good to put in a blanket. You can divide your cake into 2 50-gram cakes instead and work from that. I find this, I don't have to wind as often. I'm just winding the once and using the 2 strands together. Or if I'm making a pair of 2 at a time socks, I use this method as well. And I will just use one the inside yarn for the right-hand sock and the outside yarn for the left-hand sock. And that way I can knit 2 at a time on one needle and only have to make 1 cake of yarn. So, as I said, that button tutorial will be listed below, but that is the Njord socks by me. I'd forgotten that for a second. And the yarn is from Ducky Darlings. So the last thing I'm currently working on is a test knit. I have no business doing a test knit. None at all. My needles are so full of stuff and time commitment knits, but I had seen this on Instagram. And when lovely Amy Palco from the Meaningful Stitch reached out to a few of us podcasters and asked us if we would be interested in testing her new pattern, the Gither Cowl. I'll put the name here, and I'll put a picture of Amy's up here as well. I couldn't say no. I really liked the look of it. I felt in the mood for color work, and why not? I thought I was going to be able to shop from Stash. I kind of did. I kind of didn't. So I will show you my yarns first. This one was in Stash. This is the Creative Knitter that she very kindly gifted me in 2022. Yes, fall of 2022. It's 100% Superwash Merino, and the colorway is Introvert. Yes, please, and it's one of my favorite colors. This kind of really dark, sprucey, tealy color. I love this color. It really makes my eyes pop. So I grabbed this one. Amy recommends a dark, a light, and a pop. So that was my remit, what I was looking for. 3 color combinations stress me out. 2 colors, I'm good. Putting that 3rd color in makes me nervous. So the next color I grabbed is from Hedgerow Yarns, and this is my light. This is a beautiful 80/20 Superwash Merino nylon 2-ply. So now we've got this one and this one. And then we needed a pop. And I was trying to use some hand spun. I was coming up with combos, and it just didn't work. The marling and the color changing that you get in hand spun just wasn't working. And I couldn't really find anything. I had a few different options. I had a light mauvey purple color, but last Saturday, when we were in Sussex, I went to Legacy Lane Fibre, they have a retail space and a mill in Sussex, New Brunswick. I've never made it into their store in person because they are closed on Sundays and Mondays, and those are my days off as well. So I picked up, I ripped this. It's their, hang on, Merino, Alpaca, Eco-Fi, Cashmere. Let's let it blow out. So it is 50 Merino, 25 Alpaca, 15 Eco-Fi, 10 Cashmere. And the colorway is Barbie. So we went into the store. Deborah Yarn Indulgences and I snuck out of the gathering on Saturday, late morning, noonish, can't remember. And Allison, we had a lovely chat with Allison in the shop. Sadie from Topsail Canvas and her friend Sarah were in there as well. So we had a good old chit chat, and I picked up this beautiful fuchsia. It's not quite that bright, but the light's gonna make it brighter. It's a little more burgundy than this, but it's beautiful and squishy, and I thought it'd be lovely around my neck. And so those are the 3 colors. a light, a dark in the middle, and the pop. So this is a cowl that is cast on provisionally. It's a, what do we call that? It's an infinity cowl, but it's worked in like on a round circular, and you just provisionally cast on both ends to make a double thickness cowl. So let me show you what I've got. Isn't that fun? That's a better color representation right there. The pink is still coming up a little bit louder than it is. This is so addictive and fun. I'm enjoying this so much. So as you can see, it's just knit in the round. I'm on a 16-inch circular. I had to go down a needle size to get Amy's gauge. I think, yeah, I'm on a 3.5 millimeter. The recommended needle is a 3.75 millimeter. The biggest issue with this is I've got 3 strands all the time, so I do have to stop every now and again and do an untangle. So this cowl has 3 sections. So I have just completed the first section of so many repeats, and I'm just getting ready. I've just switched. So your color order changes. So your main color becomes the contrast, the accent becomes the main, and they just rotate. And then the third one, they'll rotate again. So there's 3 distinct sections, and I think you can see in some of Amy's pictures, the colors, you're getting different views of different color not different color combination, different color distribution. So your color distributes differently. So I don't have too much to be able to show you, but the introvert teal is going to become my main. The Barbie pinky burgundy is now my contrast, and this light blue is going to be the accent color. My deadline on this is March 23rd, so that's about a month away. So I'm good. I will be fine with this. I'm enjoying this in the evenings. I'm finding it very rhythmic and very easy to knit. There are 5-stitch floats running through there, but those are my floats on the inside. I've got a little bit of puckering, but I think with blocking that will sort that out. But there's a flash of my floats. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about was my provisional cast on. Amy recommends and has a tutorial for a crochet cast on. I remember seeing an option to use the silicone barber cords or try-on cords to do a provisional cast on. So I decided to try that. So I did that and found it pretty easy to do. I will link the tutorial I used. Laura Nelkin has a provisional cast on tutorial using this on YouTube. So I will link that below. I had a huge giggle this morning. So it's Monday. I had a quiet start to the morning, which was lovely. Watched a couple of podcasts, which include Leanne of the Nitty Stew. She is also going to be testing this. Her Vancouver episode, she shows her beautiful woolly choices, neutral choices, worlds away from mine, pow colors. It's going to be beautiful. She has also looked up and found the tutorial for using the synthetic try-on cords, and is going to be trying that provisional cast on style as well. I messaged her this morning going, snap, we're doing the same thing. And yeah, like I said, I found it quite easy to follow along with the tutorial, and hopefully it's as easy coming off. Sometimes when you use a yarn for provisional, like a crochet provisional cast on, when you have to unravel it, sometimes it sticks if you split your yarn on your provisional cast on with the crochet hook or whatever. I found sometimes unwinding that provisional cast on can be a bit of a pain in the butt. So I'm interested, really keen to see how this works out. So this is my last whip. The Gither Cowl by Amy Palco. Pattern will be launching March 23rd at the Scottish Yarn Producers Show, I believe. It's being held in Perth by the lovely Eva. So let me put this away. And as I said, all of those people and things and will all be linked below. Get that out of the way. I'm holding that in my Mrs. Brown's bag canvas project bag. So the other thing I have to show you in my chestnut fibers is the cast on that didn't happen. The bag of still yarn with a needle in it. Last weekend at the Sussex winter gathering that we hosted, so it was Manon from La Violette, Deborah from Yarn Indulgences, Sophie from Cozy Meadow Knits, the four of us organized and hosted this gathering weekend / day afternoon, depending on how you wanted to visit with us. And we were going to have a group cast on. We did have a group cast on. I think we pushed it back to 10:30. It was a really busy day. I'll talk about it more. I had 2 yarn options. Oh, let me. So we had done kind of a group survey as to what would be a good, easy but fun pattern to cast on that we could all wear or show off at our next get together or gathering. And the Bolton Pass hat by Espace Tricot, it's a free pattern. It's a DK hat, was picked as the winner. Steph, SRD Handmade, who lives in Fredericton, it's one of her favorite hats. She's made multiple of them. I had shoved in that project bag 2 options. The Eco DK from Yarn Indulgences, the same yarn I used for my field sweater. And I also had this really fun teal on brand, same color as those socks, Z DK from Yarn Indulgences. This is an old base she doesn't carry anymore, but I have quite a bit of it in my stash. So this one is quite a bit finer, and this one's quite a bit poofier. I have no hat. I have no cast on. I will cast it on. I would imagine this might be a fun summer easy project when I need something on the needles. I will pick one or the other. I might even do both. Who knows? But I just didn't have time to sit and count and cast on and start a new project. More to come on that. So that's sitting in a bag waiting for me when I have a minute to go. Let me just check my notes because I've rattled through that and I want to make sure I haven't missed anything. I haven't. This might be the fewest FOs you've ever seen on a podcast. I have FOs, I just can't show them to you right now. So let's nip over to spinning first. Then we will go into design chat. Timestamps will be below. I didn't mention that at the beginning either. I'll probably put something on the screen way back when I first started talking. If there's a section of this that you're not interested in, you can just skip on by. So I showed you this spin last time. This was, hang on, that lighting's, there we go, get a little closer. So this was a gradient fiber bump that I got at Woolstock East in Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia last September. I think it was September. It's 100% BFL, and I picked it obviously for the color. It's a very dark teal in the center and then comes out lighter, and then we've got this interesting bluey gray, almost periwinkle color on the outside. Not much of it. I just finished spinning the single. I will be chain plying this. So if you're not a spinner, basically I'm going to be crocheting from one end to the other, but with my hands with the spinner. So you're pulling a loop through and letting the twist come through. So I'm going to get a 3-ply yarn, but I'm only using it with one strand. So if you're interested, you can YouTube and have a look. I would never do a tutorial of me doing it because I'm not very good at it, but it is a great way to hold these colors in their place and not have it be marled. But then on the flip side, I look at that and think that might be kind of fun marled. So it could yet be a 2-ply. If I would 2-ply it, I would just wind it off on my ball winder and make a cake, and then I would do the same thing plying like I do with my knitting. I would pull one end from the inside of the cake and one from the outside of the cake and 2-ply those yarns together. If you have an opinion, you can let me know down below. Do I want to keep that gradient color intact, or do I want to have something marled? So I have to say I didn't enjoy this spin. The fiber is very lumpy bumpy. There was a load of vegetable matter in there. I was either under twisting or over twisting there was a lot of baubles and stuff I was trying to pull out, but some of them got in, so it's nubbly, and it's not my favorite type of spin. I prefer my spins smoother and thin and consistent. I really try. So it's bad to say, I'm glad to see the end of this. Plying is more enjoyable to me, so I will get this plied. Hopefully when it washes up, it will soften a bit more. It's also a little prickly. It definitely, well, no, I don't think this is a neck. I don't think this is a neck thing. Say it with me. It'll be the yoke for a colorwork sweater. So this is on my big electric eel wheel 6 by Dreaming Robots. And I also started a new spin on my little Nano. And this is a Superwash Merino blend that Deborah gifted me years ago when I first started spinning. Excuse me, I'm just going to grab it. There we go. So the colorway is Travertine. It only says 4.4 ounces. I think in this bag there might have been 2. It's definitely more than 4 ounces. It feels to me like it more like 8. So this is just going to be 2-ply, 3-ply. I'll have to see how it behaves as I go along. These pretty yellows and blues and greens. So that was on my Nano. And so that's what I've been getting up to spinning wise, other than what happened at Sussex. And I'll talk about that and put in some video a little later. Design chat. Okay. So Knit City Toronto is coming up. I have 3 collaborations coming up for that show. One is with Yarn Indulgences. That design is just about finished testing. I have one of the sample socks completed. I have a pair done. I was waiting for Deborah to dye me up the exact color we were going to use. We're also keeping the color and the name a surprise until we get a little closer. It's last year, if you remember, a Parade of Cones for Knit City Montreal. Was our little jest towards the endless construction that happens in and around Montreal, Quebec. This year we're in Toronto, so I've done a little research and some looking around online to find out some fun ideas and color options. Anyway, so that's almost finished testing. I have a tutorial to film for that one, and then I can finish the second sock, get it blocked, put it away, and then that one's finished. There is going to be a sequel to Tits Up from last year. That will be releasing the second week of April, beginning of April, that'll be releasing. And that one I'll be able to show you next time. That one won't be a secret. I just don't have the sample finished knitting up yet. And I want to wait till it's ready to go. And I have the color from Yarn Indulgences. She's doing me a custom dye on a new yarn blend, a Merino bamboo nylon that sounds scrumptious. So that will also be a fundraiser for the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation, early April. And we will culminate that fundraising campaign at the Fiddlehead Fibre Festival in the middle of April. So we'll be collaborating. There'll be lots of different fundraising opportunities through that, through the pattern, through the yarn, and at the Yarn Festival. So stay tuned. I will have more details, and I can't wait to show you the pattern. I got to show some testers when we were in Sussex last weekend, and they were really excited to see it. Yeah. The next one that one's going into testing soon. I'm going to put a test call out after I finish recording today. I'm going to put a test call out for that next one through my tester list. As I mentioned last time, if you're interested in testing, I really do appreciate that, but I have a really big tester pool right now, so I don't need any more testers. If I ever need testers, I will ask here first. So please just hang tight if you're interested. I so appreciate your enthusiasm and wanting to give me your time. And I don't take that lightly. I really don't. I've been a test knitter for years, and, you know, we do it because we love to do it. But I don't need any more testers right now. So hold fast, but that may change because I do have a few things coming in the works. So I will let you know here, I promise. That's going into testing soon, hopefully this week, so I can get them going on that. The next one coming up behind is for Ginger Snap. And I've been talking to Kim online, and she said that I can show off this yarn and talk about the design. I'm not ready to talk about the design yet. I've only done a swatch. I need to see it in the colors. It's one thing to do a swatch in random colors that you have in your stash because you don't have the yarn yet, but to see it in the actual colors for the design is how my brain needs to see it. So I'm not showing you the swatch yet, but I am going to show you the yarn. And yeah, there's going to be 3 different color sets. I don't have a picture of the other 2 sets yet, but I'm best going to show you this. So it's in, this is a collaboration with Ginger Snap, Kim and Colin out in Alberta. Kim has just had surgery, wishing you all the healthy wishes and fast recovery so you can get back on your feet and we can have a big squeeze at Knit City. This colorway is Silver Fox. It is a 75-25 merino blend, 463 yards. It's their lush fingering base if you're looking for it. I've knit my Blooming Lovely socks last year in this base and it's beautiful. So you may have gotten a quick view. So this is going to be a colorwork, stripy colorwork sock using these amazing Roy G. Biv. Am I in the right order? Red, orange, green. Probably think, I know the yellow should be up 1 and the green should be down 1. Oh, I see. I should have just left well enough alone. I should have just left well enough alone. Oh, it's so good. So if I can get a picture of the other 2 sets, I'll put them in here. But as I said, Kim is recovering from surgery and I don't want to bug her. I may send her a quick message and see if it's possible to get pictures of the other 2 color sets that are coming to Knit City, Toronto. Yeah, but this is going to be my first true colorwork sock design. And I'm really excited to get this caked up. Once I get the Tits Up sequel, I'm not even telling you the name of that one yet. Once I get the Tits Up sequel into testing, I'm going to cast this one on and get this one going just to start playing around, getting the pattern written up. So in 3 weeks, when the testers are finished that one, if they want to do the next one, they're ready. I have one test knitter, Heather, Wheelhouse Knits. If you're not following her on Instagram and on YouTube, I'm going to put the links down below and here on the screen. Heather lives in St. John, New Brunswick. She is a respiratory therapist, lives a busy life, but she has test knit every single one of my current 18 patterns. She's got 19 on the needle now. The Tits Up sequel will be 20 for her. My friend Leanne in St. John has missed out on 1, so she has done everything, all of my knits but 1. I'm going to sneeze. I will have cut that out because it ended up being 4 sneezes. Anyway, as I was saying, these ladies have been great supporters of my patterns. And yes, so this is what's coming next. And then I have 1 more after that. I don't have the yarn for, but I do have a good idea what the design is going to be. So there we are. That's the end of design chat. Checking my notes. So sorry for seeing the top of my head. I put another video out earlier this week. So this is bits and bobs, chit chat, various things, and then we'll finish off with acquisitions at the end. So if you're not interested in seeing what I was gifted or bought over the last 3 weeks, then you can hop away from there. I was talking to you last time about those sock organizers that I was ordering off of Amazon. I ordered the set of 3. Big mistake. Should have ordered the set of 4. That's okay. I have 3. So I showed you my process of how I wash my socks, hang them, and then don't organize them at all until I dump them all out of a basket and then make up the pairs. So I put up a video middle of February. I will link it here up top. I'll put a link card there. So if you're interested in seeing my sock collection, I went through Ravelry and found all of the pattern names. If they had pattern names, patterns that were still available on Ravelry. And thank you for all your feedback. You were feeling the sock love and maybe a little inspired. And I hope those sock organizers will be useful for you because I'm really happy with I can see them all. I like to coordinate my socks with what I wear out, even though you can't necessarily see them unless I'm wearing my Birkenstocks. If I'm wearing my Blundstone boots, you can't really see them, but I still, on the inside, I like to know that they are matched. I can hear Brad painting outside that door that's right there. So if there's any ambient noise, it's my husband being very productive painting. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention, Yarn Inc. Had retired her offensive crew. So I have 2 of them. This is her very sweary yarn collection. So Yarn Inc. is based out of Alberta, Canada. I will link her below. February 29th, I saw a notice on Instagram. She's going to be relaunching her offensive crew with some new colors and titles. Can't wait. I love a good swear word themed things. I'm very good. I don't swear here because I don't know who's watching and who's watching with who. So I keep it all inside. But Yarn Inc. Offensive Crew, February 29th. I will link her down below if you're interested. And let's do this. Let's talk Sussex. Let's talk Sussex. No, we're not. We're going to do the giveaway first because Sussex has got a lot of acquisitions and stuff. So let's do the giveaway. As I mentioned last time, when I reached 4,000 subscribers, I had this beautiful stitch marker necklace from Jeanette Walker, J-Walk Jewelry, who is based in Prince Edward Island. I met her at the PEI Fiber Festival last autumn, and she was supposed to be coming to the Sussex get-together, our winter gathering, and got sick a couple of days before, so had to back out. We were so sad. I was really looking forward to seeing her and spending a little more time with her. So I'm just going to stand up for just a second. So I've got this stitch marker necklace that she gifted me on this beautiful adjustable chain. You can just move this up or down depending if you want to shorten it or lengthen your necklace. And it is a bee themed. So we've got a progress keeper, and then there's stitch markers. One of them is different. So you've got a beginning of round stitch marker as well. There's your beginning of round one right there. And then so this clasp has a little hidden hinge right here. There it is. So you can scoop those out. I have yet to use mine. I've showed you it the last couple of podcasts with the little fishies on and the blue. I don't use mine as a stitch marker. I just use it as a piece of jewelry. It's beautiful. I love it so much. And Jeanette very kindly sent me one to gift to you, or to keep, or to gift to you guys. So this has been waiting since last October for me to reach a big milestone, and I thought 4,000 was a really good one. So if you would like to win this gorgeous stitch marker necklace that you can't really see because I'm short, I would like you to be a subscriber. I would like you to like this video, and I would like you to use the word B, B-E-E, in your comment. I don't care if you just type in B. I just don't want to make sure whoever gets this necklace is really wanting it. I don't want to do it for every single comment in case nobody is interested. If this isn't your colors or you're not interested in this kind of jewelry. So if you use the word B, creatively or not, I don't care. You can just say, hey Nancy, B. Perfect, you're in. I just need a word for YouTube, for the interwebs. There's a YouTube search engine and a prize thing, and I can just punch in the URL and give it the word, and it will find me the winner. And then I just double check that you're subscribed and that you like the video. And if that all happens, winner, winner, chicken dinner. So in 3 weeks, what are we? We're February 20th today. So we're looking at the middle of March. I will put a community post here on YouTube a couple days before, just as a reminder that if you haven't watched the video and are interested in getting into this draw, that you'll have time to do that. So thank you so much, Jeanette, for this beautiful necklace. If I'm very smart, I will probably lay this out on a pretty piece of fabric and inlay some video there for you to see it a little bit better. I just thought I would wear this one today instead of mine so I could show you how it works and how beautiful it is. It is Editing Nancy of the Future. I forgot to mention that please don't use giveaway in your comment, and we're going to try and avoid the Telegram, the spam bots. If anybody messages you to say that you have won, it is spam. The winner will only be announced on episode 32, and I will be saying it to the camera. Nobody's going to message you or ask you for money or anything. So please just be aware that there is the potential for spam and issues. So, Jeanette, using the word be, I think I've covered everything there. Let's move on. This is the end of the podcast. It could be rambly. This is all about Sussex, our winter gathering we had last weekend, and acquisitions that I picked up at our mini market. And I forgot to show you prizes for the knit along. Okay, let me do that first. I take it all back. Sussex is coming. So I've got some things that I've picked up over time to use for giveaways. So there will be more coming for the sock knit along. Right now I have 3 yarn prizes. I have the Turtle Pearl Lady Amalthea. I'm leaving it in the plastic. I have this beautiful sock set that I got from Creative Knitter back in 2022 called Succulents. And boy, I've almost knit with this a few times. It is stunning with these speckles and the beautiful colors. So I have this put aside for you as well. And I also have, of course, a ginger snap. they had a mystery bag sale, and this came in my 3-pack. And as much as I love it, it's not a color that works for me or that I would use. So this is, Philodestin, I have no idea how to say that. This is their dust fingering base, 75-25. This is the same base I'm using for my Blooming Lovely socks currently. It's a beautiful tan, coppery, gold kind of color. So this is also in the prize pack. I have plans to pick up a couple of other bits and bobs. So there's going to be at least 5. There may be more. We'll see what pops into my life between now and March 31st when the knit along ends. Okay, now on to Sussex, I promise. I'm lying to you again. Oh my word. I have some Turtle Pearl yarn to show you from Emily at Turtle Pearl. I forgot to open it. Hang on, sorry. As I said, Emily from Turtle Pearl Yarn is very local to me, and we are currently bartering for lots of, she's getting items from my business, and I am very luckily getting some yarn from her. So those are her QR code links. She will also be linked below. I picked up for myself, hang on one second. This is, Emily does DK yarn as well as fingerings. This is a DK sock set in the colorway Iris. Oh, that's pretty. So this is the way it's going to work up. I was thinking I would do Njord socks in it. I may just do vanilla. I'm not sure, but it's spectacular. So these are socks for me. I have no idea when. Sometime. And then I also picked up, I've been looking at this color for a while. We're a science fiction kind of family. And this is, oh, what is this called? Oh, yes. I was like, it's here somewhere. This is, if you are a Big Bang nerdy kind of fan, this is Rock, Paper, Scissors, Lizard, Spock, which was a game that they play on Big Bang Theory with a little Star Trek thrown in there. So I've picked this up for my son, Zach. This will be his first pair of indie dyed socks, and I hope I don't live to regret it. His birthday's the end of March. I would like to say I'd do these for the end of March, but I've already got his Christmas socks done, so I might give him his Christmas socks in March and do these for Christmas instead. that probably makes more sense. The chance of me doing a pair of man socks between now and a month today. His birthday is March 20th. He's a spring baby. The chance of that happening is pretty slim based on my current needle situation. So that's what I'll do. His Christmas wacky sacky socks will become his birthday socks, and these will become his Christmas socks. So I've also ordered some more yarns from Emily because she has, I'm going to probably might have one more for her for a prize. I'm also going to be sending a skein out as a gift for a friend, a knitty friend I've never met. Okay, now I swear to God, I swear I'm doing Sussex, the winter gathering. We met on Friday evening. So the winter gathering was held at a hotel in Sussex, New Brunswick, because it's a good central location for those of us coming from different parts of the province, the south of the province. So some of us came for the weekend, some of us just came for the day on Saturday. So there were about, I believe, 45 of us who spent the weekend. We had all but, I think, 4 rooms were knitters in our location where we were staying. The staff were amazing. The conference space was fabulous. I will either be overlaying video here or I'll be putting it at the end of when I finish talking. So about 45 of us on the Friday night, and some of us had dinner out. Some of us had dinner at the restaurant that was attached to the hotel. So we just sat in our conference space and knit and chat and got to say hello. We were busy doing registrations and checking people in. As I said, the weekend was a lot busier than I expected. I think I knit 3 inches on a sock and I did 2 rounds on my Zweig. That's it. That is all I knit all weekend. I did a smidgen of spinning. But yeah, it was a busy, but amazingly fun. We will be doing this again. We're kind of coming up with plans and options, and Deborah, Mena, Sophie and I have to have a big debrief and things that we can change, one of which being one of the 4 of us needs to be the freaking photographer, videographer. I have so few pictures. I was asking people on Instagram if they had any pictures to please make sure they shared them. I was busy being in the moment, and I said it was hectic trying to keep, there was multiple things going on. It's different being at something like that as an organizer and somebody who has to answer questions and keep an eye on things as opposed to attending. Not to say we didn't love it. It's just a different experience. So, yeah, Friday night was pretty low key, chill. We just kind of knit and hung out and we sipped a little. Obviously most people had worked on the Friday, so it was a bit of an earlier night. Actually made it. Our room was open till 11. Our conference space was open until 11. I think most of us made it until 11. And then Friday night, I didn't sleep so hot. My brain was tick-tocking all over the place because I had to get the mini market set up on Saturday morning. I was pulling the first shift. I don't drink coffee or tea in the morning, and I don't eat breakfast. So I drew the first shift, which was fine in our room. Make sure somebody was at the desk, people checking in and just organizing the tables and for vendors and getting our mini market set up. We had a mini market from 1 until 4 in the afternoon. It was in the same room. We'll make some changes next time we do this. We learned a lot of things this time, being first-time organizers of this kind of event. Things that we would change, things that we loved that were perfect, things we would do a little differently. And yeah, Saturday was crazy busy. So we're having a grand day. It's about 11:30 on Saturday morning. We are full, and there's still more people to come. So we've got our marketplace starting to get set up, and we're going to be doing some draws, and we've done our group cast on. So I'll try and check in, but so far it's been pretty sparse because I'm having too much fun. We had, I think we had over 120 people in our conference space. We had anticipated between 150 and 120. We had some people come in just for the day or just for the mini market. So different points of the day, we were pretty full. We will definitely have to reorganize that space, move the vendor market out. Options are open. It was amazing. We had weavers, we had spinners, we had a circular sock machine crankers, amigurumi being knit, or amigurumis being crocheted, lots of knitting. It was fantastic. It was very busy earlier on in the morning. We had door prizes. Everybody got a little ticket. So Sophie and I were sitting at the registration checking people in, and we were getting close to 10 o'clock, which was when our cast on was going to be in the morning, and there were still too many people coming in, and it was too hectic. So we pushed it back, but then we wanted to let people know and start the door, giving away door prizes. How the heck are we supposed to get people's attention? There was over 100 people, women. It was all women, chatting and having a grand time. So how are we supposed to get everybody's attention so we can do this? Geez, I wish we had a whistle, I said to Sophie. And if you watch Sophie on Cozy Meadow Knits, she's like, I have an idea. I have my hockey cowbell in my van. Of course you do. So every time we had a door prize, every hour, we had a cowbell ringing and then me hollering out numbers. I was very timid with the cowbell because I didn't want to deafen people who were closest to me. So yes, the cowbell will be a memorable part of the weekend for me, and me hollering out numbers. Sunday morning, I had very little voice from all of the yelling out numbers and, notes and, things to remember and timings. And yeah, I was pretty quiet on Sunday, pretty raspy when I got home. I looked at Brad and I croaked at him, and so he didn't talk to me much for that day. I know it's fine. So, every hour I'd be like, oh, my phone would go off. I have to go cowbell and yell. And so that happened on the hour, every hour through the day. We gave away lots of door prizes. Our vendors donated prizes. We had brought things that we wanted to give away as well, different things from our stash, whatever. It was amazing. Amazing. The vendor marketplace was fabulous. I have some things to show you. Then we had a group dinner. I think there was 44 of us for a group dinner in the restaurant attached to the hotel. And then we got to come back into our conference space and relax. So we settled down, and I got my knitting out, but I had also brought my 2 e-spinners for people to be able to play on. I had a couple people who were interested in trying them, perhaps purchasing the eel wheels from Dreaming Robots. So I brought both my Nano and my Big 6 to play on, and if I had time to spin, I would spin. So I did spin a little, but I also have some videos of different people trying out my e-spinners and me spinning a little bit as well. So I have a feeling I'll probably put that at the end. And that evening, I wish that evening could have lasted another 2 or 3 hours. It was so nice to just be relaxed and being able to know that all of our scheduling, organized requirements were done for the day, and we could just chill out and enjoy each other's company. Not that I didn't enjoy the rest of the day. It was just a different vibe. It was super chill and relaxed on the Saturday night, and I didn't want it to end. It was lovely. So enjoyed it. If you were there and we had time to chat, thank you. I met some new podcast viewers I hadn't met before, and it was just the knitting cup was full for sure. So let's get into this. I have a bag, which was one of my purchases. So I'm just going to empty everything out of here, and we'll kind of talk about them as we go. So I had some are gifts, some I purchased. So Sophie from Cozy Meadow Knits, gifted me this beautiful little Notions pouch that she made. It's quilted and lined with a zipper. It's beautiful. I love it. Love it. It will always remind me of Sophie. So that was a nice gift. Something just hit the floor. Oh, shoot. And I'm going to have to get that. Hang on 1 second. Okay. The gift quotient. Sadie from Top Sail Canvas gifted us little pouches or bags. I chose this little pouch because I thought it would be super handy. And then Lucianne from the Front Porch Knitter was our furthest traveled for the gathering. She has family in New Brunswick and spends quite a bit of time here. But when we picked our date, I messaged her right away to say, if you're going to be in New Brunswick around this time, hold this date empty. So she did. So Lucianne flew in, spent time with her family and friends, and then came to hang out with us at the gathering. She gifted me something that if you were here and you have seen my black, I love a good fingering bag that makes my future son-in-law blush every single time. This, sticker. There it is. There it is. Just hide my face. Hide my face. Focus. Focus. There it is. This is, I like a good fingering. We'll go with that, even though, fingering weight is my favorite yarn. So I have to find somewhere very special to put this sticker. My friend Rochelle had a little booth and this knitting barber cord. It's the thicker for bigger needles. Oh, the glare. So I have that to add to my stash for try-on cords. I was very kindly gifted from Barb and Gigi. They are local Moncton knitters. This beautiful progress keeper and stitch marker. I was wearing my Stockholm slipover vest on the Friday, and this pink, it's light pink, matched perfectly with it. So this was a beautiful little gift. And I said thank you to both of the ladies. I don't know if they watched the podcast, but I'm hoping to see them tomorrow night. We have knit night tomorrow night in Dieppe at Cavalcade Brewery. So that's where I will be tomorrow, the 21st, in the evening, knitting and chatting and enjoying hanging out with friends. I bought this bag from Ellie, who is another one of the local Moncton knitters. She is a quilter, and this beautiful zipper pull. And I couldn't say no to this beautiful bag. Box bottom with pockets down each side. Did I need a new bag? No. But did I want to support our vendors? I sure did. So that one, where am I putting all of this? Leanne, my friend Leanne in St. John, she used to have a little business where she sold progress creepers and stitch markers on Etsy, but has stopped doing that just because the prices on Etsy are just crazy. And she's got 2 young kids and a full-time job, and she's just too darn busy. She had the most ingenious idea. She came as a vendor as well as hanging out all weekend, called the Notions Bar. And she had, I got all of these things. She made this little pouch. She asked me which color I wanted so she could put my name on it, of course. Turquoisey, tealy blue. Yes, please. And then Atlantic yarn fiber, which is what we are. We have a website now and an email. I will link the Atlantic yarn fiber website down below. If you're interested, you can sign up for a newsletter and emails from us when we do our next gathering. We're not sure when that's going to be, but we're planning. I digress. Leanne had notions. She had bags and stitch stoppers and progress keepers and stitch markers. I love these. I've gotten them from Leanne before. Little heart ones. Stitch markers and the ovals. And a darning needle, because those darn things end up, I don't know where they end up, but they never end up in my pouches where I need them. So I got those goodies from Leanne, and she printed me the shirts I showed you at the beginning. Then we did our mini swap. So I took 5 bags of 10 grams. So you put, am I saying that right? So we asked everybody to bring baggies of 5 mini skeins of 10 grams each. So I brought 5. So I got to take 5. So that's 25 minis. So this is my other advent calendar for December. I will put these probably in the little bags. I've got my little box set up and my bag set up. I make advent calendars for myself from these scraps and then do something fun and scrappy in December. I did all this on Vlogmas. If you watched any of my Vlogmas videos, I was working with all of my minis. So I have enough now for 2 full advents in December. So I will the DIY make my own advent. So that will be. Then Sophie, Cozy Meadow Knits, makes these beautiful progress keepers and stitch markers. So I had to buy a set. She tried to give it to me and we ended up almost having a fight because I said I wanted to buy it. And we're going to have another fight tomorrow because I told her I want to buy a pouch and a set of these stitch markers for you guys for the cow. And she's saying she's going to give them to me. We're going to have an argument. She won't see this before we go out tomorrow night, so I can talk trash. Who's going to win, Sophie? I bet you I do. It's such beautiful work, and I do, yeah, I want to show my appreciation by paying her what she was selling them for. So Sophie, Rochelle, and I had a little mini table at the gathering. Sophie had her pouches and her beautiful stitch markers. I took hand spun to sell. I had no idea. I took, I have a lot of hand spun and I have a lot of fiber that I want to spin, but it starts to feel stressful that I'm producing more than I can knit. So I took some of my hand spun to sell and I sold a lot of it. I was really, really surprised. I had no idea what to price it. So I just it was totally a whim. Anyway, but Rochelle on her stand, she had the knitting barber cords, she had yarn, she also had stitch stoppers. I couldn't say no to Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. She had Kermit separately and she had Miss Piggy separately, but Kermit and Miss Piggy, they belong together, don't they? So these are stitch stoppers. So one of these is good. This set maybe will go onto my Wilfreda where the stitches were already coming off. And then, oh, there we go. Just a little cute pair of sheepies. So I got these from Rochelle, from our little table. And let me make sure, have I missed anything in these little pouches? I don't think so. So one of the last things I bought was a bag, this purple and gray bag from Topsail Canvas. A lovely Sadie. This is actually designed to transport wine bottles, which handy, but I thought great project bag to be able to put, your spare yarn, notions pouch. So this is going to be a knitting bag for me, but it could also dual purpose as a wine bag. The other thing I'll be able to show you next time is I pre-ordered a basket from Savoy Baskets, another local maker. I didn't get to her booth in time, and she had lots of beautiful baskets, but I was looking for something a little bit smaller. She had a lot of big ones left. So she has made me, I've requested a specific basket. I just got a message from her that it's done. So I will be able to show you that next time. So that is a wrap up of Sussex acquisitions, and now we're going to wrap this up and say goodbye. I think I've finished my wine, so I must be past due to finish up. Is there anything I need to wrap up to finish? Don't forget to enter for the giveaway for this beautiful bee necklace. If you are a sock knitter, please take part in the knit along that goes until March 31st. I will update you next time on my progress, and maybe some more prizes. We'll see what else comes into my hands between now and then. I thank you all for your enthusiasm. The knit along's been getting lots of love on Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, boy, oh boy, you guys make this a lot of fun for me. Whenever you thank me for doing these videos, I love coming and having a chat with you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for following along on my knitting journeys. And I hope I don't bore you with the design chat. Like I said, if you're not into sock, and I don't want to be selling you things if you're not interested. So that's why I keep it separate. Just skip along. There's no offense. I don't know. And even if I did know, I wouldn't be offended. You take from me what you want. All right. Thank you for being here. Happy nipping. I did it again. Happy knitting. Happy sipping. I will see you in about 3 weeks. Take care, my friends. Cheers.